Tyron, how much of a whirlwind has your career been thus far? Because being welterweight champion of the world is no easy accomplishment.
It's one ham, to be honest. You know, sometimes you imagine it, you know, when I say it, I mean being a champion, that it'll be a different way. And you feel like you're going to jump and scream hallelujah, but it's really been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work, and I really haven't had the time to enjoy it, to be honest. I'm a grinder, man. I just hopped off a plane before I got here. So I just want to smash through all the windows I can while the windows are open and maximize off being a champion.
Definitely. What's been the most enjoyable thing for you, actually gaining the accomplishment of being welterweight champion, or the actual journey to get to that point?
The journey to get to that point. When I got there, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. When I won a belt, it was like I had already won this in my mind 1,000 times, and it didn't feel like much. And then, our sport got some haters out there. Woo! They can take the feet right up from underneath you. So
name them. Who those haters?
Haters for me?
Yeah, name them.
Our sport has a few haters that compete in the sport, but the fans, if it ain't blood oozing out your face in 20 seconds, they booing. So some people can't appreciate a fighter that is strategic but also brutal and knock you out. They think that every fight is supposed to be a knockout. So if you go out there and you're playing a chess match and you got 7 figures on the line, I don't care who you are, I'm getting the W. So that's been my mindset, and they got a short-term memory, so that's where the hatery come in at.
Will one of those haters be Dana White? Because I feel like
you
and
him. Say it. Hey, you know what, Dana? Me and Dana got a weird relationship. You might see me at the Super Bowl with him. I was at his son's party, when he had Kendrick Lamar at a bowling alley. Then he'll say, Tyron is this, and this. And then we go back and forth. We went at it about yesterday, actually.
What happened yesterday?
I can't tell you exactly.
It was behind the scenes?
I was just text message, but, we kind of went in a little bit. And, I always try to end it with a joke because life is too short, and I really ain't got no ill feelings for him. He likes me as a fighter. The thing he likes about me the most is also the thing he can't stand about me. The fact I'm a businessman, the fact that I'm gonna take the fights when it's a good fight for me. And if I don't feel like it's extremely beneficial for me, then I'm probably not gonna do it. So that part, the loss of control, he can't stand. He offered me to fight somebody, and I was like, who? And he was like, man, come on, you got it. I said, who do you want to fight? I said, I want to fight GSP. Why can't I fight GSP? Oh, he got to fight at middleweight. All right, I'll fight him at middleweight. I said, how you going to keep letting these dudes run from me?
Yeah.
Why you won't let me fight Conor? Why didn't you let me fight Bisbee? Why you didn't let me fight George? Why you act like the fight with me and Nate wasn't a real deal? And I just think it's funny that when you are in a sport where someone's title is a promoter, their job is to promote you. Their job is not to point out every little thing, even if the fight wasn't going to happen. Let us have our moment. If it was a buzz on the internet, let us live for a little bit.
So do you think he has too much power?
No, I mean, that's how the UFC was operated. It was operated on, we the UFC, we the brand, you do what we say. And so many fighters were so happy to be in the UFC, they didn't ask any questions. They didn't read over the contracts. They didn't try to negotiate their purse. I'm just not that guy. I don't really, I love fighting because of what it is, but I don't even like fighting. I'm just good at it. I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an actor, I'm a stunt guy. These things I do the other 362 days. I fight 3 times a year. So I'm a fighter because that's my, my art, but at the end of the day, I got so many other things that I can do beyond fighting.
For sure.
But that next fight, which is obviously hypothetical right you for now, because you have to get your shoulder taken care of, and we have no idea when we meet fight
I think
next.
I'm going to just thug it out. I don't think I'm going to get the surgery.
Really?
I said that because I started looking at our sport, Conor McGregor, all being ridiculous. We don't know what Ronda Rousey's going to do. UFC really don't have no stars right now, and they're not investing into the right people. I've been here since day one. I've been smashing people since day one. I ain't never took a PED. You don't have to worry about my urine being flaming hot. And when you got people that's out here doing it themselves, no other fighter has their own TV show that's doing Fox, that's doing movies. I've been in more films and TV shows and commercials than any person on the roster combined, but you never see that on the front page. I was just watching last weekend. You look at the UFC, and on the front page is a music video for one of the ring girls. But I got my own show, and I just did a big film. I'm a big part of the escape plan. I just filmed a movie in New Orleans with T.I. and Terrence Howard, Wesley Snipes. So I'm doing big things, and I'm like, dang, why I got to work so hard? I got to do it by myself.
And that's the funny thing that people don't understand. Like when you said it didn't feel like you thought it was going to feel.
Yeah.
Because you already want it.
Yeah.
People don't understand what hard work really is. They just want the goal.
Right.
And when you said that I worked so hard and I won this over and over, when I really won it, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't as joyful as I really thought it was because you put the hard work and the grind in. And some people don't understand. They just want to make it to the place. They don't want to put the grind in.
That's true.
So kind of piggybacking off of Tyron, did you feel that way whenever you achieved those accolades in the NBA?
It was,
hollow?
You know, I put so much work into the craft, like studying film, studying how defenders, defended, certain areas of the court, shooting 300 shots 3 times a day. Yeah. So when I go in the game and hit the game winner, I've done it so many times.
The body reacted.
There was no reaction to it, So it's, so I understood what he was saying, that, I won a championship, but it was like, eh.
You know what's funny? Any high-level athlete I talk to, they always talk about slowing down a moment. Mm-hmm. You ever played in a basketball game and think it was in slow motion?
Yeah.
You shoot the shot, you see it going in slow motion. I talked to Jerry Rice. He said, I ran yard every time I caught the ball. 5 and out, 95 yards. 50-yard line, 10-yard pass, I'm running 40 yards. He said every time he touched the ball, he got in the habit of running for the end zone. He said so he knew he was going to be in the best shape. Nobody was in better shape than him. And when that moment came, he wanted to be in that moment. 4th quarter, this touchdown to win the game. And he said everything would slow down. And I just know when I'm in a fight sometimes, the punch comes so slow, and I was like, get that out of here. And it's like the Matrix almost. Yeah. But you don't have that experience if you're not trained that way, where it's reactionary. You see the body motions, and I can always tell when somebody's about to try to punch or about to take me down, and I'm already thinking defending that, and I'm already to the next 2 or 3 moves before they even touch me. Yeah. And that's what the fans don't see.
Yeah,
they don't see this dude come up short 24 times trying to take me down that I saw every single time. And then when he took me down, I was prepared.
And that's why they can't appreciate it. Yeah. And it's just like, same thing with Mayweather. He's perfected his craft so much that it looks boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks
all. It's like jazz. It's offbeat.
Yeah.
It's jazz. It's not boom, boom, tss, boom, boom. Tss. Anybody can do that. But when I'm throwing beats at you that you can't understand, and you swinging, I'm in a different place. When you find me, now you getting hit in the face. That's not the one-dimensional fighting.
But you talked about earlier that the fans are always out for blood. And they want to see blood within 20 seconds. So does that bother you when you get more involved in a more technical fight and you don't have
I've given them so much blood.
Yeah.
I got 11 finishes, 9 in the first round. I got some of the most brutal KOs in the history of the sport. Sometimes I almost had to check the pulse to make sure they still was with us. So with that said, I know they have a short-term memory. If I knock somebody out in my next fight, they're going to forget the last 2 fights of the #1 contender, the world's best, playing a chess game, and it's only one mistake that has to be made. They won't even remember that fight. But me as a fighter and my coaches as a coaching staff, we appreciate those moments, because at any point, 25 minutes, if I tell you to focus on that lens for 25 minutes, I guarantee you 1 minute y'all going to lose focus. To focus on one person that's trying to tear your head off for 25 minutes straight, as they're trying to do the complete damn opposite of what you're trying to do, it's almost virtually impossible. So for me to almost execute this game plan to a T, that I'm satisfied with that.
We've had a couple guests on the show so far, and to say that I had to check the pulse to see who you said was, that's the most gangster thing I've ever heard on the show. That was pretty
make sure I'm leaving them alive.
Wait, hold on, okay.
I'm in the zone. Like, I've had some fights where, it's some weird thing. When I first started fighting, I knocked this dude out in like 20 seconds, and I called my mom. I was like, man, I feel like I can kill somebody with my bare hands. It's, from a spiritual standpoint, is God okay with it?
Yeah.
So then I got okay. And you know what? People have been warned. David, all these people have been warned since the beginning of time. And it's been some times when I've been in the fight and I don't remember. I remember my first UFC fight. I said, I'm going to send a message. I'm going to let everybody know what I'm about. I'm going to put everybody on notice. My last fight, I got knocked out. So I finna send a notice out to this division. I went out there. I don't know why I hear everything. Yeah. So I heard the commentator talking shit. So now I'm like, oh, hell no. So he said, Tyron is a good wrestler, but what's his name is a better striker, and Tyron's working on his, before he said it, I was crushing through the guy's face. Guy hit. Before he hit, I was already behind him, ready to punch before he landed. He landed, he turned over, I was still punching. When he knocked out, he went stiff, and his legs and his arms were holding me in. And I just kindly got myself away from him, separated myself. The guy wanted to shake my hand, I pushed him away, and I don't remember one thing of that. So that zone is just for that moment.